What's up, Brazen?
Well, this is ethics, by the way. This is my cell phone account because I'm traveling. I'm in southern Georgia right now. Anyway, so it wasn't a big huge deal, but I heard you say something, and generally speaking, I don't always agree with that thing, and we probably do agree. I guess wanted to clarify it because maybe you often have some perspectives I may not have considered. So you were during that last conversation at one point you said because all people are equal. And I think in that context, I could agree with that. Like all people, well, gosh, it's hard for me to even say that. That all
Well,
people are
let me
have the same
clarify.
deserving. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, morally, all people are equal.
So, in what way is morally applied? In what context?
So when it comes to right and wrong, anybody that is sentient, and I define sentient as possessing the capacities for advanced conceptualization and advanced planning and gratification deferral. So once you've achieved the level of able to participate in this thing we call rights, like once you've become a moral agent, it's not like there are different levels of moral agent. It's everyone is the same. You're either a
Okay,
moral
so let
agent or you're
me.
not. You're either an animal operating in a state of nature, or you're a sentient being that can conceptualize rights and reciprocate them with others.
Okay, but clearly not every member of the human species demonstrates that capability. So, is there a process where maybe at some point they don't,
Do you
but
mean
then maybe they can grow in a direction and then they can? How did how does that work?
which way? There's two ways I've heard people take what you just said, so I want to clarify which way you were saying that not all members rise to that level. Are you saying criminals? Because that's a type of human that don't rise to that level, and then there's also like the handicapped that don't rise to that level. Which
Understood.
which were you referring
I
to?
guess I could. Well, I could refer to both, but let's take the criminals at first. So I guess it most helps clarify where I'm coming from. If I just kind of say that I don't believe that all human beings, and we're not talking about the handicapped in this instance, are capable of what I refer to as ethical contract. It's kind of the same way of saying what you just did.
Yeah, it's certainly
And so
true.
if they're if they're not, then I don't consider those people equal to those who are capable of ethical contract. And further, if a human is not capable of ethical contract, clearly irrefutable evidence exists of such, if that's the case, then to me, by ethics need not be extended to him or her.
Yeah, that's the same thing as you just described the philosophically um, full long form version of self defense. So when a criminal does stops reciprocating rights with you, he erases himself as a moral agent, and so you can use force on him. So with his
Oh, sure.
actions, he reduced himself to a state of nature. Ethics don't apply to him. You can use force on him now. That's just self defense.
Oh, 100%. And we've always been on the same page exactly with that issue. I guess I just took issue with because all people are equal.
Yeah,
That's
so,
what I was.
Yeah, so I
Clearly,
did not
clearly
intend
not.
to say that all humans of all capacities, everything from people born in a coma that have never and will never be sentient, are morally equal to the average adult human. Like, that's not what I meant.
Yeah, that's why. That's because obviously the word equal, again, we have to define our terms because it could be taken in several different contexts.
Yeah, in the context of the conversation,
Um,
I think the guy I was talking to understood what I meant, but you're right. That was imprecise.
yeah. And that's why well, it was, I was, I hadn't been in the conversation the whole time, so it's probably my misunderstanding. But, and that's why I prefaced all this with saying, I bet we're thinking the same thing. I use a little bit of different words. So, yeah, glad
Yeah.
it's clarified.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
makes
don't.
sense.
I don't sense any disagreement on that. I think we're good.
Maybe it's a, not when you say it, but maybe it's a trigger phrase for me lately because you hear all this, equity of outcome and all people are created equal. A phrase I've never agreed with. Okay, and there's many different ways people can be equal physically, mentally, intellectually, financially. Uh,
Yeah,
morally, ethically.
and I will say that criminals make themselves far less equal than the most severely mentally handicapped human. Like the mentally handicapped person, never achieved a level of sentience able to comprehend and reciprocate rights. But the criminal was there and threw it away. So I place criminals under animals almost, just because they had it. They were there. They were one of the few creatures in the entire universe that achieved a level of sentience able to be a moral agent, and then they threw it away. Like, to me, that is, I can't. It's like the difference between stealing something from somebody and then stealing from something from somebody and using that thing to hurt the person. Like, it's an insult to injury. It's extra egregious.